Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. I just got off work and I'm doing this quick video. Bungie has responded. I did a video clowning on them for their choices and decisions to mysteriously ban a bunch of people who are known for AFK and macros. That's right. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, after he, start rolling down the volcano, and Bungie knee-jerk reaction, like, hey, by the way, guys, we're changing the policy when it comes to AFK macros loot farming. And the community is on their cheeks, because if you don't know Bungie, they are the notoriously worst company when it comes to transparency and even honesty, which we'll look at some other tweets. But first off, so they put out as a knee-jerk reaction, and it's almost funny because in my video earlier that I recorded yesterday, I said I theory capped that it seemed like it was in retaliation to the fact that they had to change AFK exotic class items drop rates, and it ended up backfiring to where it caused this whole debacle and made them look like complete fools. And I'm sure it cost them a lot of money and resources to fix their stupid mistakes. And then the people who were encouraging these macros suddenly just got banned. Isn't that interesting? You know what? Bungie just continues to make themselves look like clowns more and more. And I don't even think it's just the leaders at all. Like, I feel like it's some of the developers who are in charge of security and TOS. It's obvious the people are making horrible choices. But what does the terms assert? What are they saying now? So here we have it. I'm putting on screen. Update to Destiny 2 restriction and ban policy, input macro loot farming. Interesting that it says loot farming. Isn't that interesting? It says nothing about AFK macros. It's specifically in the title saying loot, which leads to the whole retaliation of exotic farming or chest farming. Because if you remember, AFKing in like Thrallway or the Golgoroth maze, you don't get any like actual loot out of it. But they're specifically titling this macro loot farming. Isn't it interesting? Listen, it doesn't take a rock scientist to literally know that this is to combat the exotic farming, and they punish the people who encourage that. Starting today, we have revised our restriction and ban policy. By the way, this is on Monday. Isn't it interesting that we have done AFK macros for years, and we haven't had a whiff of, hey, we're considering making changes? It is out of nowhere, just left field, out of nowhere. Suddenly, Bungie's like, hey, we're gonna change things on you. This is not okay. Or they've chosen, this wasn't even against the TOS. The fact that they had to update their TOS means AFK farming or even AFK XP, which it doesn't even say that in the title. But the fact that they had to update it means that it was in a response to something. And it's out of nowhere. It wasn't like really like, oh, we're considering it, or hey, just so you guys know, this is something that we're looking into. It is just out of left field. When the game is literally dying, and it's about 70% player base going downhill. Player retention is all-time low. It is worse off than it was in Lightfall. Literally, like, you're going to punish the people who actually are playing a game, or at least, they're AFKing. Yes, they're not technically playing, but they're AFKing for something in order to play the game. In this this response is exotic class items, right? That's the whole reason, because people want these class items, and then they're going to use them to play the game. But let's punish those people. But I digress. Let's keep reading. Restriction including input macros to automate gameplay. So they specify macros, so anything, even XP. But the title is obviously very directed to loot. While inputting macros can be beneficial accessibility tools for many, and we intend to keep it that way, some have been leveraged these tools to automate gameplay. Players detected using automation to circumvent idle detection or perform automated activities to earn loot may be restricted or banned. So, loot includes, but not limited to, XP, materials, drops. So I don't agree with this. I don't agree that XP is a loot. I don't agree with it. Because literally you get XP, you level up, but you're always going to have to continue leveling up. Like every time they do a reset, every time you do a battle pass, that battle pass goes away, then you have to re-level, so you're not keeping it. So the fact that they're trying to say that XP is loot is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Like, I'm just, what does the general definition of loot definition? Here we go. Goods, especially private property taken from an enemy in war. Goods from a place typically during a war. So goods. XP is not a good. It's not an item. It is very obvious that they just shoehorned it in there like, hey, we're considering XP loot, but that's not loot. That's a reward. You could argue that it's XP is definitely a reward, but it's not loot. Drops, example, and it's funny. You know that someone was so triggered that they made sure you knew that we are talking specifically about exotic class items. Automation circumventing includes, but not limited to, the use of programmable controllers, keyboard, mouses, adapters, advanced macros, artificial intelligence. We have no plans to retroactively issue bans or restriction to anyone, and any bans or restrictions related to this policy change will be issued for future infractions. So if you use it in the past, don't worry. If you use it in the future, you will be banned. Players who are currently using, which, you know what, at least they say something and they're not going to ban people. That's great, but they've already done it, so okay. Players who are currently using or have used macros for above purposes may receive an in-game message warning against the future use of macros. Additionally, a small amount of account actions have been issued over the last few days, unrelated terms. Yeah, isn't it interesting that people from an entire server with macros and AFK suddenly just got banished to the Shadow Realm? Listen, Bungie has done nothing to earn trust. You should never believe Bungie when it comes to their terms of service. And here's why. It gets even more awkward when you go back another year and find a wave Bungie apologized for that banned and then unbanned people that was pretty clear public proof that they cheated. It's a bit hard these days to take your D-team word on a ban reason when the secrecy around it ends up with cases of groups being unbanned after being told they were banned for cheating. Again, the fact that Bungie is changing what they do, isn't it funny? Oh, we're just gonna, trust me, bro. They won't give you exactly what it is because it's we're trying to make sure that other bad actors can't take advantage of it. Meanwhile, they try to low play. If we go to their comment section from this bans, any bans or restrictions related to policy. Additionally, small amount of counts have been issued. Additionally, for those asking specifics on account bans carried out last week, this is their excuse. This is where things get tricky from a security standpoint. On the community side of life, we can't share the exact details on the terms of service breaking actions, as we don't want to specifically teach bad actors what can be detected, give them goals on what to work around. Yet you have games like RuneScape, who they banned you, or at least they used to back when I played it. Jagex will give you a reason why you were banned. How hard is it to say, hey, you were abusing the game? Oh, you were AFKing. How hard is it to literally give the bare minimum reason of why someone's banned? We've doubled and triple checked with our security team on the actions that many are worried about. They were issued on Friday, and some infractions leading to actions had taken place over a course of a few months. You're joking. So you have these bad actors. So you're telling me that people who are blatantly cheating in PvP can do that for months before you actually react? What the hell? And so let's continue. You can't see this part, but it says sometimes restrictions bans don't happen the moment something is detected. Ooh, why not? I mean, at the bare minimum, couldn't you like restrict that account until more info is gathered? Like, hey, we're putting you on restriction and we find that you were actually cheating and it's a bannable offense, then you're going to get banned. Like, how hard is that to do? The timing isn't always felt to be perfect and leads to quite a bit of FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt from innocent players. How can you... Ultimately, if you aren't looking to cheat or manipulate the game for purposes that break our rules, you're in the clear. You don't even follow your terms of service. You literally let someone who is abusing using VPN get away with it. It was clearly breaking TOS, but you're like, hey, this streamer, you know what? We're just going to give you a warning. What do you mean? What do you mean? In case of using macros, we've issued the statement above, amended our policy, and we'll be issuing restrictions before bans for taking place for future infractions. This is such a clear case of knee-jerk reaction because they obviously are trying to cover their butts. It's absolutely like, let's read more because also the community has talked about it. I'm very interested. So let's click this because there was some very good discussion. Seeing some questions around checkpoint bots. We have no plans to issue restriction or bans to checkpoint bots under this policy change. Breathe easy on this topic. Hit us with feedback on what activities most use checkpoint bots and why. Happy to pass along. I don't know. Maybe the community has said for years, we want checkpoints for activities. That's why the bots exist. Like, how much feedback do you need? I'm so curious. What does the community have to say? Hey, just thought you should use this. Oh, on that topic, hit us with feedback on activities you most use checkpoint bots for and why. Happy to pass it along. TBH, we want to hear from everyone on that too. Yeah, that's great. Almost final boss times exotics for non-bot bosses. Why not allow selectable CPs? Instead of checkpoint bots existing, why can't we just implement a feature that allows us to choose which checkpoint we want from the menu directory? You are going to make an exception in your terms of service because someone is using a bot. They're using a bot account. They're AFKing for checkpoints. You're going to make an exception for a problem that your game is creating. And instead of actually solving the problem that we have asked for years to solve, you're just going to make a special exception for your TOS. Because the community has solved the problem. And that's the problem with a lot of these AFK things. They are solutions to a problem you made or have yet refused to address. The Pale Hard Dark Farm macro is probably the cherry on the sundae for this. Can't say I'm surprised. How about once you've completed the raid dungeon, at least you could select encounters, even if it was only on a rotator week. Exactly. Anything, the bare minimum. But let's continue. So Dado has responded as well. Base. But now it's time to do something about why people opt for those paths in the first place. Exactly. That is indeed the goal. We have changes to Xur coming that we announced last week, and the team is continuing to look at opportunities for improvement. Knowing it can be frustration, but increased feedback data show that the problem helps a lot, rather than resorting to macros. I am so baffled. Guess further changes will come in season 36. I don't know how much more feedback you could possibly need, but I start patching some changes sooner than later if I was you. People resorted to macros because of your lack of communication on the absolutely insane amount of feedback being given, and you're asking for more feedback. How many? Let's continue before I say more. The macros are a band fix on massive problem. The Xur changes are an out-of-touch solution. The issue here is simple. People want to play the game and have fun, not spend months in a class item hell, or in my case, just quit and hope you can come to your senses. Xur having a chance to sell exotic class items, only being able to buy one per account, is not going to fix the issue like you guys think it's going to. I've said 100 times that Grandmaster Exhibition doesn't drop exotic class items. Yeah, then why doesn't do that? That makes more sense. It is a hard activity. It should be more rewarding. Why not increase the drop chance by 10% so that no one needs a macro to begin with? Imagine that. What in the tone deaf response is this madness? Is this account ran by P. Parsons? The community has been nothing but vocal on these issues that you have been bluntly ignoring for months and other issues for years. The solution is that without due protection and without having a less involved source of these, it's never really going to work out. The Xur solution is time gated and apparently random when it's up doesn't really solve the issue. My honest opinion, Xur changes are just a pretty lazy way to address the problem, just a placebo as a short theme fix. Not having guaranteed drops outside of Dual Destiny, due protection, or any meaningful change quickly is something that kills the class item farm. No change to Xur is gonna matter unless we have some kind of knockout duplicate protection system, to be honest. No offense intended, but the community showed its feedback and Bungie responded by making the problem worse. You talk of upcoming fixes, but haven't given details. And Xur, the 1 week RNG bus giveaway isn't going to help long term. It's a quick and limited patch. And it is. As you can see, the community is infuriated because Bungie's not addressed, like, how out of touch, brain dead do you have to be as a company? Hey guys, we're listening to you. By the way, we're not listening to you. Can you give us more feedback? For months, people asked for a fix. In fact, they had a decent glitch that people were okay with, and they pleaded, Bungie, keep it. This makes it more bearable. And they said, screw you. We're gonna patch it. And now screw you. Let's just be honest. Every class has 64 different roles. And Bungie's thinking that a random once a week chance is going to solve the problem. Hey guys, we are doing something. Guys, just so you know, we're solving the problem. We've got Xur. You're gonna get that once a week. Aren't you excited? Oh my God, guys, 64 roles on per character. Man, yeah, and it's once per account, by the way. It's one per account, man, not character, account. Oh man, Bungie, they're patting themselves on the back. Oh my God, we're so good. We care about our community so much. Man, it's almost like the community is intelligent enough to know when they're being treated like dog crap. It's almost like people are whiffing the bull crap and they're starting to leave. Oh, but hey, let's punish the people who are actively still playing the game. I mean, obviously they're farming for these exotic items so they can use them to play the game and have fun, but we're gonna punish those people. We're gonna punish them. Hey guys, you come back once a week for your one class item random roll. Come Gamba for, yeah, aren't you having fun, guys? What a dumb, moronic company. God, I hope Sony takes over. I want the people at Bungie, the leaders, to cease any kind of existence in Bungie, and I want Sony to deep throat the company. Literally just shove your hands down it and make changes, because Bungie has shown that they are incompetent. They are tone deaf. The fact that they do not, it's not for the gamer, it's for the company. They're not making choices or decisions that benefit the gamer. They're not looking at the problem. They're just trying to put band-aids on them. They do not care about you. They do not respect your time. The reason why people do AFK farms is because no one wants to do bounties. So they like, hey guys, we're going to do Pathfinder. But did they listen to the community feedback that we want separate things? People don't want to do Gambit. But they also don't want to do Crucible, or they only want to do Crucible. Instead of being selectable to farm XP, they made it the most horrid experience when it comes to Pathfinder. Not only that, you still have to do challenges, which is essentially the same thing as bounties. Just play the game. You should get huge amounts of experience by just playing the game. That's all you should do. You should just be able to play the game and get good amount of experience that then you can level up your pass. You can level up your guns, level up the people. Reason why people do these AFKs is because the problems still exist in your game. And there are going to be people that are going to try to overdo it. They're going to be like, I need to get the battle pass to 100 in day one. Obviously, those people are not the exception. Those aren't the people that you should try to satisfy. But when the majority of your community has complained about XP and the fact that it feels like a slog and it is so boring to have to continue to bounty hoard and hold all the bounties to get to all the artifact levels to be able to do it every season or expansion, people are tired, and now you're splitting up the battle pass and you're not letting levels go over. So people who are playing have to essentially either hoard more bounties and save them and the challenges and then pop them for the next other battle passes, or you just don't play the game and come back whenever you get experience. Like, it's the problem with Bungie is that they don't care about the community. Everything they do is a knee-jerk reaction. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They give excuses, and then when they do the bare minimum, they suck their own toes. We did such a banger job. Oh, guys, don't worry. Things are going to be great, but we're going to make sure we're going to rip the Band-Aid off, and we're not going to apply a real fix to the problem until like months from now. I am more impressed with Activision, Blizzard Activision, because they learned the hard way that when you nerf something or you do something that upsets the community before you fix the actual problem, people leave. And Bungie's had 10 years to figure that out, that maybe we should do this all at once. We're going to fix the problem with the exotics and XP. We're going to do it all at once, and we're going to make the policy changes that you can't do it. But instead, they would rather fix the temporary, like remove the temporary fix and then make you suffer the slog, which is why people are leaving this game. I haven't played seriously in about a month, and I have no desire because this game is garbage. Literally, the company is garbage. I have never wanted the downfall of a company so bad in my life because the people don't understand that the people that made Halo, the Bungie that we grew up and loved, they're not there. They're dead. That Bungie, the people, Luke Smith, people who love Destiny, who really love and care about the community, they're gone. We have an empty, lifeless shell that does not respect you, that does not respect your time. They are not even being transparent. They're not giving you a head's notice. They're not trying to work. They're waiting until after they ripped the Band-Aid off and ignored years of feedback to then go and ask you, hey guys, we would love more feedback. Hey guys, don't you want to give us feedback? Because yeah, that'd be great. And people are railing them, and people have given feedback. We want to be able to craft. Like, literally, how many people are replying to this? How much feedback do you need before you actually make changes? Seriously, how many 23 L's, half rolls, not one I actually want? How many years of feedback? There it is. You butt an a-hole banning people before announcing it and acting on it. Absolutely. And they give you this lie, this whole lie. Additionally, for those seeking, I get why you can't say exactly why, but I feel like there's a way to be more forthcoming so people are not just trust me, bro, mode from being too tight-lipped. Not a security expert, but just my outside view on things applies to other areas of communication. Part of it is also just a privacy thing. Yeah, screw that. If they're cheaters, they bar their privacy. Can we also make sure that crouch macros and PvP are banned too? Will I get banned for using an auto clicker to buy raids at Hawthorne? Be real, yo. I mean, it's honestly annoying. Good thing my cousin Macro got me all those rolls when he did. What about checkpoint bots? Ban too, they use macros. What else do we have? So, yes, unlike the previous 7 years where you could circumvent problems like this, the recent macro policy revision for Destiny means you have to suffer through annoying parts of the game in order to get to the parts you like. Just patching the game was always the best policy. And this is coming from the guy who got the pass. And you know it's bad when he's the dude that got a pass from Bungie, and yet he's openly criticizing Bungie. It's like, yo, even I know this is wrong. Like, just absolutely stupid that Bungie is so brain dead. I think this is a measured response. However, we needed details and improvement Bungie will be making to the exotic class item grind. The Xur changes are a step in the right direction, but there's more work. It's not even, it's not even a step. It's like, like you're like, what? Maybe implement changes to the game to where it's fun to grind. Good thing you guys jumped on the policy change. Should have taken a date update after weeks of allowing it. It's not even weeks. It's been years and then months. Like they've been radio silent, and that's a problem. You need to tell people your thought process. If it's not okay, why is it out of the blue that suddenly Uno reverse card, it's bannable now, when this has been going on for years? This is kind of hilarious. People are finding the content so boring and engaging that they are using macros. Doesn't that reflect more on the activity than anything? Like, how about in Tangent admitting that you need to actually work on making better content? I couldn't have said it better. This AFK, literally, I just got done AFKing all the stupid silver leaves for the solstice armor because the grind is so boring. It is the most boring bull crap activity I have ever done. Instead of getting good amount of freaking loot and feathers or what leaves or whatever from the activity itself, it is actually the worst thing to do. People are literally farming dungeon bosses just over and over again to circumvent actually playing the actual bonfire activity because it's not rewarding enough. The grind is boring, it is bad, and you're gonna argue like, oh yeah, like First Ascendant experience farm is garbage. Absolutely, but people have circumvent that by finding ways to cheese XP. And yet they've allowed it. They haven't like, oh, we're just gonna ban people for doing that. No. It's just, it is so mind-numbingly annoying that they have the audacity to come out and tell the community and ask for feedback when we've done it for years. Absolutely tone-deaf decision. You killed the game a few weeks ago. Let it sink. Banning AFK macros to making the class item an even more miserable experience. Players use macro to circumvent poor design. Let's make sure we are fixing the issue alongside this and not just the class items. Artifact XP gain easily comes to mind. Exactly. I just said that earlier, that a lot of people AFK XP because the grind to get you the artifact mods, especially when you need all the champion mods, you shouldn't have to hoard bounties. People have complained about that for years. And they have done nothing to improve it. Why not just make all artifact mods unlocked? Why do we have to grind that out? Everyone's on an equal footing. Everyone has access to the mods. Just unlock the mods. Why is it such a needless and pointless thing? Like, it makes no sense. Can we get clarification on solo scripts? They block matchmaking via firewall when a solo node isn't available. I don't know. This is honestly an insane thing to start banning people over, considering the amount of real cheating that goes unpunished. The amount of clips, and apparently Bungie doesn't act on it immediately. Apparently you could go months for cheating, which is why we probably see so many cheaters just run rampant in PvP. That's why I say, you know what? If you're a cheater, go out there, and if you're not a cheater, get some hacks, get some cheats, cheat in Trials of Cyrus, cheat in comp, cheat in raids. Go ahead and do all that, but before you get rewards, remember, this is supposed to, they only ban you if you are circumventing for rewards. If you leave, you don't get an experience, you don't get the loot. Guess what? You're within term of service. Apparently they're going to ignore you. You're good to go. You're good to go, man. They're going to ignore it. They're going to give you a pass. That's right. Act like a bot and you're going to get a pass. So go out there and cheat your heart's content, because Bungie doesn't know what they're doing. The only thing Bungie knows how to do and how to follow is how to kill their game. Destiny only can be killed by Bungie. And we're literally watching a boat sink. The only thing I believe can save not even Bungie, but Destiny, is that Sony takes over. And it's not just me. I'm ranting and raving for 30 minutes because I am tired. I'm so annoyed at the tone deaf response, the lies, the deceit, the miscommunication, and it's not me. You scroll and just so many people are outraged, annoyed, bothered, It's not just me. All these people, not the move, definitely not the time. Please read the room. Like, it's not me. It goes. How many people responding to such a brain dead, just so bad? When is the temp fix name coins for our Bungie names going to be available? Okay, that's another thing. When will be notified with the game of the TOS change? Not all players troll the socials. That's another thing. Where there needs to be, like, if you're making changes and people aren't on social media, which is a thing, like, not everyone has a Reddit, not everyone's in their Discord. Like, are you going to make this announced in the game? Like, hey, give us a logo? I mean, I get it, respect. I just wish you guys were just as quick to fix or quality of life feature pain points for players for the reason they use things. Again, even people who are being reasonable, like, I mean, they are being very, very chill, are still providing the exact same criticism. It's mad that those who use these methods are essentially what remains of the player base, and they're happy banning them. Makes zero sense if it's harmless to most people. FYI, I'm not one of those people. It's so baffling to me. Like, I'm going to be very aware. Yes, it impacts me because I did farm for exotic class items AFK. But before that, I did duality. I farmed it when they had the glitch. It was rewarding enough for me. I enjoyed the mission. I didn't mind it. I defended Bungie saying, I liked the mission. And then they were so tone deaf to the feedback the community gave, and they nerfed it, and they didn't solve the problem. And so, yes, I started AFKing him, and I got everything I needed. I AFK the stupid Solstice armor because there's a problem. It sucks balls. It is boring. And then now I'm going to be punished if I do that? Well, then I'm just not going to participate. I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to participate. So you're actively making people like me who are stupid and dumb and have Stockholm syndrome leave your game. I am heated. You are stupid. I am done. Sound off in the comment section what you think. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Take care of your mental health. If you are smart, you will delete the game. If you have mental issues like me and you have Stockholm syndrome, go see a therapist, because that's the only thing that are going to help people like you and me get away from this garbage game.